Hey, Evan McCotter here, again with another Proverbs series video. Reading from Proverbs chapter 4 today in the Hebrew Scriptures of the Old Testament of the Bible. For those of you who are new to this series, we are reading through one by one, and then I'm offering just a little bit of musings afterwards, some takeaways hopefully for you. Obviously I got my pillows over here, the like button, the subscribe button, and those both help the channel to be able to be seen by by more people. So if this is any encouragement to you, then that is a way to help that. Also, of course, you can just directly share this to different things if you find it that. I mean, it's not that great of a video just because we're just reading through the ESV translation of Proverbs chapter 4 and just kind of talking about it. And so hopefully the biggest thing is maybe selfish. This is a blessing to me because I need to get in the Word, and this is one way to do it, as well as I feel like there needs to be more truth content on the different platforms out there, including YouTube and Facebook and different things like that. So this is my beginnings of fulfilling that feeling, that conviction, that thought. So yeah, just beginning this, obviously just recording off of my MacBook Pro with QuickTime Player. Nothing too fancy here, which is just fine. Fancy oftentimes isn't necessary. But Proverbs chapter 4. The way that I like to do this is read through, and I might interrupt myself with a couple of takeaways as we go, or else we'll just read through all 27 verses of Proverbs 4 and then comment afterwards. Do feel free to comment in the comment section and let the discussions be encouraging and uplifting and unifying as opposed to divisive, if at all possible. Super. This is Proverbs chapter 4 from the ESV translation. I'm using blueletterbible.org as the source website, as you can see. And this is what we've got here. So it starts out, "Hear, O sons, a father's instruction, and be attentive that you may gain insight. For I give you good precepts. Do not forsake my teaching. When I was a son with my father, tender, the only one in the sight of my mother, he taught me and said to me, let your heart hold fast my words. Keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get insight. Do not forget and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will keep you. Love her, and she will guard you. The beginning of wisdom is this, to get wisdom. And whatever you get insight. Prize her highly, and she will exalt you. She will honor you if you embrace her. She will place on your head a graceful garland. She will bestow on you a beautiful crown. Hear, my son, and accept my words, that the years of your life may be many. I have taught you the way of wisdom. I have led you in the paths of uprightness. When you walk, your step will not be hampered, and if you run, you will not stumble. Keep hold of instruction, do not let go. Guard her, for she is your life. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of the evil. Avoid it, do not go on it. Turn away from it, and pass on. For they cannot sleep unless they have done wrong. They are robbed of sleep unless they have made someone stumble. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn, which shines brighter and brighter until full day. The way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know over what they stumble. My son, be attentive to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Let them not escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them, and healing to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. Put away from you crooked speech, and put devious talk far from you. Let your eyes look directly forward, and let your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil. And that is Proverbs chapter 4, read today. Super. Obviously, here we have a father's voice speaking to sons, specifically one son, giving direction. First off, he seems to start out by encouraging towards embrace of his instruction, just forthrightly saying, hear my words, which sometimes we have to just do. Whether we're children or whether we're adults, sometimes you just have to hear that and say, no, listen to what I have to say. Incline your ear. Let your heart cling on to, hold fast to my words. And then he says, here's a priority for you. Get wisdom. Again, Proverbs being wisdom literature. That's one of the reasons why we're here, is to seek to gain more wisdom. So he continues to speak, and he continues to raise up the value of both his words, but then also of just wisdom in general. He personifies her again in a feminine form. He talks about the blessings that she'll bestow. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of good words in here, just to remind oneself to, hey, raise the bar and stay on point. Focused on what you're going for as far as learning and wisdom and application of truth to life. Not being drawn away to any of this doctrine or that teaching or this belief or that value system. Instead, what is true wisdom? Yeah. I want to pinpoint this verse right here, Proverbs 4:23. In the biblical counseling circles, this is one that is quoted quite often. The ESV translation translates it a little bit differently than I have memorized it, which is, keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. I think another translation translates it, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. This is very similar, of course, but the reason why counselors lock in on that one is just because it's such a valuable verse for our time. So much of the voice and the counsel of our time says to, sorry about that, so much of the counsel of our time says to follow your heart. You know, whatever feels right, this is the way to go. You know what's right inside of you, and therefore just follow your emotions, essentially. And people who are wise, people who understand things, realize that's not good counsel. Both believers and unbelievers. People realize that, wait a second, my heart can be deceitful, and my heart can long for things that are not healthy for it. So this verse is pretty foundational. The warning and the inclusion of, the warning and the challenge to keep your heart with all vigilance. Guard your heart with all diligence. For out of your heart, out of your inner person, everything in life, that's what it's all coming back to. It's your mindset and your understanding, your allowance of certain emotions to rise or to fall. You're following after those certain urges or whatever that looks like. I mean, it's pretty comprehensive. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Yeah, so that is Proverbs 4 being read, and then also just a couple of quick thoughts being taken from that. Thank you so much for watching. Again, want to point over to here to ask for a like and a subscribe. You can turn that little bell notification on as well. Oh, a bell. And that will conclude our quick video here. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Hope you have a wonderful day. Get wisdom. Get insight. Do not forget and do not turn away from the words of the mouth of Scripture. Have a good day. See ya.